Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your daily horoscope for Saturn stationing retrograde on May 11th. So this is Saturn getting ready to move back, as we have had this sneak peek here of Saturn stationed direct in Aquarius. This is it. Saturn is going to move back, and we're going to see this retrograde play out where Saturn will move back into Aquarius in July. And Saturn will not return to Aquarius until December. So this is it. This is the final test of whether we are ready to enter into this new reality where our responsibility and our authority is in the collective, is in unity, is coming together. This is a major test, and this is making a trine over to Mercury in Taurus, which is at those last degrees of Taurus, getting ready to enter into its home sign of Gemini, where we see the North Node and Venus coming into this conjunction. And so Mercury is here where it has done a lot of thinking over the steps, thinking over what are the actual real steps that we need to take in our lives to move towards what is valuable, to move towards what is truly secure and stable in our lives. Remember that Uranus in Taurus is breaking down our foundation of what once was valuable and stable and secure for us, now raising the frequency into a brand new reality of what is truly secure and stable in our lives. And so Mercury has done a lot of planning, a lot of thinking in this sign of Taurus, where it is much more practical. It is much more about taking the time out to think over the steps of what we are planning to do. And so as it's sitting at 28 of Taurus, getting ready to enter into its home sign of Gemini, this is the time to start deciding what you are going to do. We had a lot of time here to plan and plan and plan. And even with this Mars in Aquarius, this planning of where are we going to take this thing, Mars is now at 28 degrees of Aquarius, making the trine over to the North Node in Gemini, where there's no more time for us to keep pondering over what our choice is. What is the decision? This North Node in Gemini calling us to make a choice here, as yes, Gemini is dealing with duality. And so our North Node, our point of destiny, this karmic lesson that we are moving and entering into, is in the sign of duality, where this is time for you to make a choice, a decision about where you are headed and going. And remember that South Node in Sagittarius, leaving behind the old stories, the old patterns, the old lessons that we continue to play out, and entering into a new direction of new information, new connections, new experiences here within our environment, as Gemini is dealing with your immediate environment. So communication is a big part of this, and thinking, finding a clear choice and decision about where we are headed is a big part of this as well. And as the North Node gets closer to Venus, this is a big lesson on relationships and how we are connecting and relating and communicating within our relationships. Saturn is in a world of change here, as it is moving backwards back into this space of Capricorn. But this is not going to be like what it was before, as we're coming back into this space of reality of this Saturn shifting back into Capricorn, that old system, that old structure. Remember that Pluto has been retrograde here in this conjunction with Jupiter, and continues as it is breaking down and destroying and eliminating this old foundation that we used to stand on. And so, as Saturn moves back into its sign of Capricorn, we're moving back into this old reality that is broken, that is in shambles. And so, this is a major moment of the test of whether you will transform out of the past and step into the new. And of course, this Pluto retrograde is very intense as it's being expanded by Jupiter, but it is in Capricorn where we have to face the reality of what is actually going on in the world. And we have to go through this period of deep change and transformation in order to grow and in order to rise towards our goals and our ambitions. Jupiter here in Capricorn weakened is a faith test of whether you believe and have the hope and optimism to keep striving towards your goals. So this is a very intense Saturn retrograde, and this is making an inconjunct over to the North Node in Gemini. And so this is a blind spot of where we are going. This Saturn in Aquarius wanting us to come into this space of unity in the collective, supporting one another, taking on that role and that responsibility of humanity, is not seeing the true path and the true calling of where we're going of this North Node in Gemini. And so once again, this is a big decision about where are we going. This is this dual nature of Gemini of, are we choosing to go in a direction that takes us back into the past? Are we choosing to move into a direction that moves us forward? And so there's a big choice, a big decision that needs to be made here, right? And we were presented with this decision for a very long time here since Saturn entered into Aquarius. And so this is very significant as Saturn is getting ready to backtrack and move back into Capricorn. The moon also here in Capricorn, where there's this feeling of wanting to focus on our goals, wanting to focus on our work, our career, our foundation, what we are trying to achieve in this moment. And so very much a feeling of being detached here, as the moon would rather be in the opposite sign of Cancer, where it can connect emotionally. But with the moon here in Capricorn, there is something big about needing to focus on the plan and the mission and the goal of where we're trying to head towards in our lives. So this is a very powerful moment here in this South Node in an opposition over to Venus in Gemini once again, which is building into this conjunction with the North Node in Gemini. And so a conflict here in terms of what we want to feel, what we want to connect to in our relationships and in what we're trying to create and produce here in our lives. That are we going to stick to the old past stories and lessons of the past with this South Node in Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius with this big view, but is our view actually accurate according to the facts and what is truly going on? Because remember, this North Node in Gemini is leading us towards the truth and the facts and the true connection and the true communication of connecting to those in our environment and connecting into our own world, into ourselves, and not trying to seek this great big vision and story that exists outside of ourselves. And so this is an ending of the stories that we are telling ourselves and moving towards the truth. Is this something that you are ready for in this moment? I also pulled some cards here for Saturn retrograde. First card we have is the Five of Pentacles. And so we do want this success. We do have these goals, but we are holding ourselves back. Remember, this South Node in Sagittarius is about these old stories and belief systems that we are telling ourselves. And so there is a moment of needing to check in with God and to check in with the facts and the truth so that we can move past these attachments to the past, to these stories, to these belief systems, to these ideas in our head that are not the truth. And interesting here that we're getting the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune together, where this really is a very scary moment of taking a chance of moving into the future, of moving into what is destined for us. This is a major choice of whether you're going to let go and move forward ahead. The Fool is the start of the journey. Are you going to go on this new journey? Are you willing to take the chance with this Wheel of Fortune to move ahead along this new path and journey? And if you are, this is leading to this 10 of Cups moment of true success and fulfillment. And so this is a very challenging time of letting go of these beliefs and these stories that are holding us back from stepping into this moment of true happiness and fulfillment, right? And a lot going on here with relationships as we have Venus in Gemini. This is the esoteric ruler of Gemini that is dealing with soulmates and true connections. And so there's a lot going on here in terms of relationships. Next card we have here is Air in reverse. Once again, we don't want the truth, we don't want the facts, we don't want to communicate and to face reality and to let go of these beliefs that we are trying to hold on to with this South Node in Sagittarius. We cannot escape the truth of the reality of where we are headed. And so, are we going to keep trying to run away with these stories and these beliefs that are not the truth with the South Node in Sagittarius? And there's a lot here with this South Node in Sagittarius and with Neptune in Pisces about trying to create these stories and these conspiracies and these beliefs and this news surrounding something that we want ourselves to believe, to run away from, and to escape from the reality of what is actually happening. And so this is a moment of connecting back to the truth and connecting back to your true connections with those around you. And once again, there's an issue here with change as we have this Pluto retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus, that our structure, our foundation is being broken down from underneath our feet. And so this is a major time of needing to let go. We have the 8th house, endings and beginnings. In reverse, we're trying to hold on. This lower vibration of Pluto is of control, of trying to hold on to what we believe is our power by staying in the past. But the true power of Pluto is actually in the transformation, is actually in the death of our old ways and rising out of that into our true power in the light. And this is the higher octave of Scorpio, right? This is Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, and we're coming off of this full moon in Scorpio where this is a major shift and transformation that we're coming out of here. But are you willing to go through this transformation process? As the highest vibration of Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes, are we going to go through this process of death and rebirth and face the darkness and face these difficult parts of ourselves in order to step into our true power? Or we're going to stay in that lower vibration of Scorpio in the control? And so major fears around letting go of control and letting go of the past to step into this beautiful destiny that is waiting for us, that 10 of Cups moment. And the last card we have here is the North Node, life's purpose, right? And that North Node is in Gemini, where we need to make a choice about where we are going. And we need to be willing to learn and experience new situations within our environment, and to connect and to communicate and move towards what is the actual truth and facts. And so again, there is a doorway here that is open to you, but will you choose to walk through this doorway? This is a major test with this Saturn retrograde, which is opening up this big moment of Saturn and Jupiter conjunct at the end of 2020 in this big doorway into this Aquarius timeline that we are entering into. And if you'd like to know more about this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, go ahead and check out the video on the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happening on December 21st. I will leave the link down below in the descriptions. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was your horoscope for Saturn retrograde. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. Feel free to join the group Astro Metaphysical Love and Light on Facebook to share any positivity, motivational advice, or spiritual wisdom. I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.